right. Here we go. Hey, Ms. Wicked Wolf. Hey, Izzy. I'm eating green apple. Yeah, I haven't yet. I might do a reaction for the Patreon. I'm not sure. I know there's also one out for the next Mario movie. Cave? Yes, it would appear so, Nick. I mean, like, I thought the Mario movie was fine. It was basically what I expected it to be. It was, I think I described it as being scientifically calculated to be as middle of the road and inoffensive to as many tastes as possible, which was exactly what I expected it to be. Hello. We'll see if it does. 255. I'm kind of rolling the dice, but I meant some other games from at least some of the people on the team that made this. Like, I'm okay with Journey. I wasn't okay with Flower. I think the main distinguishing factor there is Flower didn't have like a stable character for me to hold on to. It was just the pedals, so it felt closer to a first person. So that one I couldn't handle anymore. But I handled Journey okay, and the game, from what I can tell, is leisurely paced enough that I'm hoping to avoid the issues that I will sometimes have with third-person games where I'm expected to like really whip the camera around, because that's what'll get me. I have no reason to think that the character I'm controlling is a robot. I mean, I'm sure I will see Wicked for Good eventually. Whether or not I will see Zootopia. That's what they should have called it. Zootopia. Whether or not I will see that one, I don't know. I honestly don't think I will. I legitimately don't really have any interest in that one. What have we here? Ooh. Hi. Friendly? Friendly! Whoa. Oh. Hello, what are we here? So wait, do I have like an inventory in this game? Would have loved an offensive Mario movie. I mean, I think when people say something like that, they mean something that I don't. I would have liked a Mario movie that, you know, had literally anything to say other than, hello, this is a Mario movie. That's what I would have liked, but, you know, I was never going to get that. Whoa. Am I swimming in the air now? What is this? Well, yeah, like something like the God, I can't talk today. Something like the Lego movie that has, at the very least, things to say about, you know, its subject matter, if nothing else, would have been nice, and I don't think completely unreasonable. I just knew we weren't going to get that. Oh. Music's gorgeous, but that's unsurprising. Given, like, the other games a lot of the team was involved in. Oh. Lore. Okay, so this legit is just Journey underwater, then. Okay. Well, that's a first. All right. I was starting to wonder if there was going to be any threat level at all. Apparently, the answer is yes. That looks like some potent currents. Well, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. It's definitely doing the journey thing with the music, which I am all here for. Again, so yes, just straight up, this is underwater journey. I am okay with that. It's pulling a lot of the same tricks, but it's doing them about as well, so I'm good. I'm all good. I'm not sure how realistic this is. The dolphins were being jerks. Idea what the purpose of those are, but so we got a cave down there. What's that? Is that it? Button to meditate? Or sorry, to meditate. No, to meditate. this is like a good place to get a view of everything from. I don't currently have Apple TV, so not presently, Nick. Replacement for my little diving buddy. That makes sense, 255, and an interesting place to take inspiration from, for sure. Hey there, could you try and not get eaten by a shark, please? You're right, I can ride the dolphins. Check something real quick. Okay. Yeah, turning is not in my like quick turning is not in my best interest because that's going to increase the odds of that I get motion sick. I'm going to, I think, broadly, and it's early yet, but I am going to broadly say I think I prefer Journey. I think it just has to do with the nature of gravity. Like freeform floating and or flying, which is effectively with flowers. It's not just a matter of, potentially setting off motion sickness, though that is a concern. There's also just something about like the sliding down the, sliding amongst the dunes or riding the little air boost at the tail end of Journey. It just hits different. Either succumbing to or defying gravity that you are otherwise always subject to. I don't know. It just hits a little different than simply doing what you've always been doing, but faster. If that makes sense. This is still good, don't get me wrong, but like, it kind of begs comparison to Journey. Like, it's not just a matter of like, oh, it's unfair to compare it to Journey. Like, what the hell else would you compare it to? And most of the same people made both games, so, Manta rays before, now orcas. That's also a weird visual, because it's like, oh, the water level's rising in the water. Like, is that goo? Is that, like, spiritual essence? It's an odd visual. Not a bad one, but an odd one. Ooh, turtle. Dude. Oh, that's pretty. Welcome, Morton. Nice to have you here. Oh, that's chill. Nice. Yeah, I don't think I want to test that one, Haleth. Yeah, it's not that big an extra commitment. 255. And considering that otherwise Battlestar Galactica itself would be the shortest of the primary series we've done. I say primary because we did The Prisoner as an aside during the strike, so that one wasn't necessarily planned. like, it's gonna come out like total, not, you know, probably still fewer episodes than Jumpgate was. Again, like, that was sort of what we had the thought to do early on. Whether or not we'll stick to that, I don't know. Question is, are you ever going to do a TV show? I've watched. Don't know, Nick. We haven't, like, Jesse and I haven't really talked about what we might do after Battlestar. Like, we have a couple of possibilities, but we haven't had that conversation seriously yet. Oh. Not sure I like the look of this. What happened to my last one? Did it just not follow me? Oh, great. So I have that to look forward to. 255. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I have a handful of recurrent issues with Battlestar Galactica, and I do think it is a good show, and I do not regret watching it, but I have a number of recurrent issues that don't even, like, my ability to give deference to, well, you know, the time it was made. I'm not incapable of that, but how much deference I'm willing to give for that is limited. But I am kind of the opinion that even for the time, Battlestar Galactica's sexualization of its women characters, it is creepy, especially now that we're 3 seasons in. It is quite creepy the longer it goes on, and the more characters get caught up in it. It's pretty creepy. And then, like, the other thing is just the show's repeated missed opportunities. I'm not going to say it misses every opportunity, but and like they committed to the new Caprica arc. I'll give them that, but by and large, I did find, especially early on, that Galactica had a tendency to set up something really interesting and just not do it, or like to do the way less interesting option out of the ones available to it. She is, and she's fantastic because she's Lucy Lawless, and Lucy Lawless is always fantastic, with no exceptions. The game's loud. Hang on. I'll drop it down a little bit. We'll see if that helps. Let me know. Yes, Lucy Lawless is best known as Xena Warrior Princess. Only correct takes on this channel? Oh no, I'm sure that I've said some nonsense at some point, but I do my best. So, canonically, within the text of the show, no, Nick, it was never confirmed. Were the actors fully playing it like that was the case? Yes. So, like, it's not a case of the creators were pretending it wasn't the case. They knew they would not get away with making it explicit. But certainly in the last few seasons of that show, and probably well before, the two leads, they were fully aware and they were just playing it that way, regardless of what was actually confirmed in the text of the scripts. So, but yes, technically it is not confirmed in that show that they are a couple. I'm gonna lose my little guy again, aren't I? Oh, maybe not. That's an interesting point of confusion, Lewis. Dang it. It's always one of the last bites of apple I get a bit caught in my teeth. Sorry, 1 second. I don't want people to see me picking my teeth. Okay, that's better. What I'm talking about in Caprica isn't in the show itself. The main character is 16, actor 22. They put a load of promotional material where she's pictured from behind nude. While the promotional material might be worse than the show, I cannot imagine it is uninformed by the show. We'll figure out when we get there. Hello. Hello. My mother is the most clueless person when it comes to gay people flirting, being in relationships, but for Xena, it never even crossed her mind that couldn't have been the case. Yeah, like, it is one of those shows that, like, while they don't say it because they weren't allowed to, like, the phrase, there is no heterosexual explanation for this, comes to mind. I don't know as much about Merlin, Darth Wallace, so I cannot confirm either way on that. Ooh, whale sharks. Yeah, Merlin is one of those shows that I'm aware it exists. I've never seen any of it. I know some people really like it in a, or at least the impression I get is that they like it in a, that's my trash kind of way, which I respect. You know, that's how I approach Gotham. But also, I don't want to accidentally belittle a show by making that comparison, because I know very little about it. And Supernatural, I never got around to. I remember, oh God, I remember when I was still living in New York, and somebody asking me if I was gonna watch Supernatural, and I was like, I'm already like 2 or 3 seasons behind, and they told me, oh, don't worry, they're planning to finish up in season 5 anyway. Oh. Ooh, a little busted up. And the music, it gets this slight ominous. Supernatural is one of those shows that I have seen more burlesque acts that reference it than I have seen episodes of the show. I mean, 255, AI-produced images will always be more soulless than even bad art created by people. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, jeez. Don't psych me out like that, game. Ugh. I wasn't on the same axis as that thing, but I couldn't tell. Give me a mild moment of panic in the middle of this otherwise very chill game. My understanding is they did, Nick. That's like one of the few videos that's one of the few times I like kind of regret sounding off on it, because I did a video kind of calling that out, partially because it came pretty rapidly after some nonsense on Star Trek Discovery that I had a better understanding of. But like I had some people kind of disagree with me that it whoa, whoa, oh shit. The fuck was that? I had some people disagree with me that it should count as Bury Your Gaze. But like certainly on paper, from what I read, what the deal was in that last season, certainly seemed like it was to me. I know you're warning me of mines. It's just funny looking over and just seeing in the chat, mine! Just sounds like, you know, sounds like Gollum being possessive. Mine! I see what we're doing. I used to think I do. Oh, shit. Oh, give me a break. Go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast. Ah! Shit. Ow. Don't like it. Don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Ow. Ow. Jeez. Ah! Let me go! Oh, jeez. I was gonna say, that better shut those things down. Oh, good call, Remy. Mine? 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 I mean, given some of the crap Game of Thrones got for, well, its treatment of all kinds of characters, I'm not shocked they did that. And I remember liking that at the time. I don't plan to keep watching House of the Dragon. I've just, you know, I've realized I don't care. But like, especially if the character is just not gonna come back regardless, I don't see any harm in that kind of change. Shit, get away from me. Alright, where's the damn... Oh, get away from me. I do not know how you don't get hit by these. I'm just glad it's not a game over state to be hit by these fucking things. That section with me having to actively try to avoid stuff a little bit faster, that started to clock my motion sickness. Hopefully it doesn't get worse from here, but like I can feel the early signs. I can feel the sweat. So that might mean we call it early because we're far enough into the stream. I don't think I just want to switch games. Well, also, if I legit... Oh, god damn it. If I legit start to get motion sickness, I'm not going to want to keep streaming. So, we'll see what happens, but that section did not agree with me. So, hopefully, it doesn't get worse from here. But just as a heads up. Aquatic ambience music from Donkey Kong Country would fit here nicely. I mean, like, that's just a great track. It would fit lots of places. Hang on, I'm gonna open the door to my office, see if that improves the circulation at all. Oh, for me personally, yeah, I cannot do first-person games at all. Like, the only kind of first-person I can do is, like, if it's, say, Myst style, where you're going from fixed pose to fixed pose, the instant that you start being able to you know, just free look around in first person, I'm done. It's the reason I never played Date Everything, because I really wanted to try Date Everything. I was really excited to try that, but then I tried the demo, and you navigate the apartment in free roam first person, and I even remember thinking, well, you know, maybe that's a small enough part of the game that'll be okay. But I tried the demo, and like 30 seconds in, I felt the sweat forming. I'm like, I can't play this. It is a game where the main navigation didn't have to be in first person, and a lot of the stuff, like all the character actions, are not in first person. But it doesn't take very much first person stuff to completely kick off my motion sickness really badly. Like, I learned that trying to stream the Stanley Parable, which a half hour in, that is a literal walking simulator. It was slow paced, it required no quick movement, I didn't have to whip the camera around, and I still got motion sick in a half hour playing that game. So yeah, first person for me is completely out of the question. Third-person games like this can work if they are slow-paced and not something that you are expected to, like, move the camera around to check stuff. So, like this, Journey, Dredge, I can handle that because the third-person character gives me a fixed point to look at. So again, as long as I don't have to... I'm going to close my eyes when I do this. As long as I'm not whipping the camera around like this, you know, all over the place like this... As long as I don't have to do anything like that in order to navigate stuff, I'm okay. But it's why, you know, truly action-based games probably going to be off the table for me. Like, fully rendered 3D is just a hard thing for me in general. I mean, classic era Rareware, sure, Star. I think Bury Your Gaze is kind of like the Bechdel test in that whether or not it actually happens doesn't automatically make it look good or bad. I would agree, but I think also very much like the Bechdel test, while its presence isn't necessarily good or bad, unlike the Bechdel test, it's a lot harder to do by accident. If you get what I'm saying. Like, things fail the Bechdel test all the time simply because people aren't thinking to check for that. Bury Your Gaze, like, you had to make an act. Not having two women characters, two women identifying characters, have a conversation that is not about or regarding a man, is something that you can just do by accident. You don't have to actually make an active choice to do that. If you are killing a gay character, that's a choice you made. So while I get what you're saying, I personally will always hold people far more responsible for a choice like Bury Your Gaze, because that is a choice. Whether you thought about it or not, that's a different question, but you did actually have to make an active choice that this gay character, I'm going to kill this gay character, or similarly and with the same end result, this character that dies in the story, I guess I'll make them gay. Which is probably the slightly more innocuous way that it ends up happening. Like, because oh boy. I think a very common way for privileged people, especially cishet white men, to try and write something more inclusive is to basically just write everybody as a man and then assign diversity characteristics later, which I don't want to say that there's no validity in doing that, but it's a very shallow way to add diversity, and that is how oftentimes you end up with stuff like the minority characters dying, because the decision to kill that character happened long before it was decided they were going to be a minority. You know what I mean? I've heard the same from friends with motion sickness. I was going to say Outer Wilds is great, similar vibe to this, but it is indeed first person and also has spaceship flying. Yeah, I wouldn't stand a chance. I don't recommend playing Little Nightmares for long periods of time either. I beat the whole game and one of the DLCs over a series of 3 days, and the game screens at work were swaying for days. I played Little Nightmares 2 for a little bit. I haven't gone back to it since I streamed it just because it didn't grab me enough, but I managed okay with that one. But then again, a long period for me is 2 hours. Excuse me. To give an example, there was a show where every one of the protagonists died at the end, black comedy show, not that grim, and one of them was bi. He died halfway through the second and last season. Well, I think it is unfair to bemoan Bury Your Gaze in a situation where this is why I didn't cry Bury Your Gaze at Squid Game when it introduced a trans character. Spoiler, she dies. But then, so does 98% of the cast in that series. So, I think that's getting a little weirdly uppity about it, to be when the general premise is almost nobody's going to live. Yeah, I'm not going to get as upset about that. But when the times that it really hits me is when there was nothing gained either by the character being gay or by the character dying, or both. My go-to example, the Doctor Who special Resolution that Chris Chibnall did, which I actually, for the most part, like. I love the reconnaissance Dalek. That thing's freaking amazing. It's one of my favorite things Chibnall did. And that he gets full credit for, because he wrote it. It wasn't just a good thing that happened during his era, which is, how I feel about most of the episodes I actually like from that time. But there's a beat where our villain character goes to this facility, and there's this hapless security guard who gets killed, and he has like 2 lines, and one of them mentions he has a boyfriend. So I would argue there actually isn't really a reason for this character to be here at all. The ruthlessness of the reconnaissance Dalek is fully demonstrated in other ways, so it doesn't really serve that meaning. I would say there isn't really a reason for that character to be there and die at all, and there super wasn't a reason to establish him as gay before doing it. So that's like my quintessential worst case scenario example. But yeah, not all instances are that bad. It's almost always on a spectrum. Like that's why I can't ever give like I can give maybe general guidelines, but I can't ever give anybody hard rules. Like if you do this, you won't be accused of bury your gays, or if you do this, it's more defensible. It's all on a scale and a spectrum. And how good or bad it is going to vary on a lot of specifics that I can't, suss out and guarantee ahead of time for you. You know what I mean? Write every character as a man. I'd imagine they claim they're writing characters genderless without realizing they're functionally defaulting to male. Oh yeah, I promise you that's what they would think. But yeah, that's not the practical reality. And again, I don't want to say like there's no value in writing every character the same. Again, as an exercise, it's usually done by a writer who's a man. Whoa. I'm not going to say that there's zero value in like writing all characters in a very similar vein and altering things later. It's just that it's a very kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, slapdash approach to diversity. You can do it, it kind of gets the job done, but it's very easy to fall into traps, and it's the kind of thing that I would never recommend doing unless you have a sensitivity reader who's gonna, or possibly several, who are gonna come in and take a look at the result of you having done that. Because like the kind of excuse you'll see with something like bury your gays, people will get, people like me, Frank, to be honest about it, will get upset like you leaned into this trope that we're real sick of, and then writers or directors or whatever will get defensive on that. Like, well, we're not going to treat the gay characters as special. We're going to treat them like everybody else. It's like, okay, the fact that those words even came out of your mouth means you do not understand the problem, and your opinion is now void, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know the name of this person, but there's a clip that I have come across on TikTok a couple of times where I believe it's a non-binary individual on this sort of British, I guess it's like a talk show or a panel show or something, starts talking about something related to non-binariness, and the host is like, so the thing is, and the non-binary person goes, there is zero chance you have a valid opinion on this. Like, that is the energy that I'm largely taking going forward. There are some people, I have zero need of their opinion and their views on these matters. Hey, Knit. Whoa. Hopefully this wasn't the way I just came in. I don't think it is. Oh, god damn. Oh, good grief. Oh, I hate this. Ah, Oh, go to hell. Oh, come on. The proximity on these things is probably not technically inconsistent, but boy, does it feel inconsistent. Oh, bite me. Get away! Ah! I've heard the you shouldn't treat queer people, especially from a gay man, sadly. And like the thing is, I'm not saying there's no validity to a conversation about that, but I am going to say, like, if that is your blanket excuse for treating your queer characters like garbage, I don't want to hear your opinion. How's that feud with misgender going? Yeah, I know. That's so ridiculous. And like, again, the notion of like we shouldn't be treating the queer characters as precious or special is an argument. The reason I reject it out of hand, it is the fact, oh, I guess I am a robot. Okay. The fact that it is a status quo argument. It is an argument to not change. It is an argument for not improving. And therefore, innately, I have no use for it. Is it a 100% invalid argument from a purely intellectual standpoint? No, but it's one of those things. It's like, I kind of treat it, sorry, my brain's going on a tangent. I kind of treat a position like that the same way as I treat that position that says, why do you get upset about cis people playing trans characters and not about trans people playing cis characters? Everyone should be treated the same. I treat those arguments the same way because that's an argument that until we are in a situation where these groups are not, broadly speaking, being treated differently in our narratives, in our popular culture, and in our actual lives in society, until we reach that, when we get to that point, then we can have that conversation and I probably won't care anymore. But until we get there, your argument is damaging and holding back and sticking us in a quagmire of things sucking. I've said in the past, if you, while it can be a philosophical notion that is appealing, like, well, let's just treat everybody as if they are equal, that sounds good until you realize that means not giving people who need extra help and extra care the extra help and extra care that they need. Treating everyone as if we are already on equal footing just solidifies the status quo and the current inequities. So, that became a whole thing. It was about resolution 2. He said something like equality means equal deaths too. Oh, don't ever tell me who that was, because I do not need the amount of anger I am feeling to be directed at an individual, especially someone I don't know. Ugh, that's freaking gross, Nick. That to me is disgusting. I am going to ask one question out of morbid curiosity. This gay man defending that, was he white? And that is not me saying that a more intersectional gay person, maybe a black person or a disabled person or what have you, wouldn't be capable of sharing the same view. That's possible. But I'm just like, I'm going out on a limb, and I have a hunch. Yes, he was white. That's what I thought. And no, being white does not make you bad. But being white does make you privileged. And in certain conversations, your voice is not needed. Oh, jeez. On land motion. Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. Oh, yeah. Not shocked to hear that, Remy. And, like, keep in mind that we should treat everybody equally is literally the argument that the right used to dismantle affirmative action, and is the justification they use for eliminating DEI. Anything that helps people that clearly, demonstrably, statistically, provably are in a downtrodden place, they say, no, we shouldn't give extra help to those people because then you're treating them different from everyone else, and we treat everyone the same. It's literally, whether it is intended to be or not, and when it comes from the right, it definitely is, but whether it is intended to be or not, it is an argument that the status quo is fine and needs no changing, which, no. I feel like treat everyone the same as the default gut reaction for people who don't experience the problems themselves, and it's the easiest way to avoid having to acknowledge it. Well, yeah, it's just the same thing as the "oh, I don't see color" thing. Like, first of all, yes, you do. Second of all, even if you didn't, all that does is mean that you are blind to the problems. You know? Oh, how the hell do I open that up? Oh. Okay, so I'm missing something here. to my autism, not being able to sit in the same place in every classroom used to cause me a lot of distress when I was in school. Some kids figured that out and deliberately take the desk I wanted to upset me. When I complained to the teacher, they'd say, well, if you got there first, you could have it. It's only fair. Only no, it's not, because it was really important to me, where they couldn't care less. Yeah. Like, the degree to which it matters to you versus... Like, you shouldn't have to prove that it's more important to you. Like, you shouldn't. But, you know, by being the first to class, you should not have to do that. Up. There we go. Yeah, there we go. People who are comfortable the way the system is, they don't really want things to change, and they don't want to come off as an ass by straight up saying there is no problem. Well, I mean, generally, if you push them, a lot of them will eventually say that. Because that is the heart of what, you know, their argument is. But, yeah. I mean, the development team behind this game, Gayest Fairy, is good for stuff like that. I think Journey and Flower, before it started making me motion sick, kind of had a similar effect. Yeah, that is sort of the thing that gets tricky sometimes, Morton, is that when you are dealing with privileged people, especially privileged people who believe themselves to be progressive, they are often unaware of, like, the root of their positions being the status quo benefits me, therefore I don't want it to change. They're in denial about that because that's part of the nature of privilege. If I were to sum up privilege in one word or in one concept, it would be that if there is an aspect of living that impacts other people's lives every single day that you literally never have to think about unless you go out of your way to, that is privilege. If you don't ever have to think about your race and how it impacts your life and how people view you, that is privilege. If you don't ever have to think about the fact that your gender expression deeply impacts how people view you and you don't recognize how people with other gender expressions have a distinctly different appearance, different experience from you, that is privilege. If you do not ever have to think about how the way the world is designed makes it incredibly difficult for people with certain disabilities, both neurological and physical, to be able to navigate the world, and you just never have to think about that, that is privilege. So when confronting someone with privilege, now I'm not going to say all of them are, some of them are, but a lot of people, again, specifically those who believe themselves to be progressive, they literally do not realize what they're doing. Does not make it okay, but that's part of why you have to be careful in how you confront people about their own privilege, because a lot of it's why you get people who are demonstrably incredibly privileged going, but like, I don't have privilege. You think you don't have privilege because you've never had to think about any of these things before, and that itself is the privilege. And understand, I say all of this as an incredibly privileged person. Like, I am part of a marginalized group, being trans, but like, I am privileged in way more areas than I am disadvantaged. Like, that is my reality. And there are lots of people who have the disadvantaged area that I have and lack a lot of the privileges I do. So, don't think that I believe myself to be exempted from any of the stuff I'm talking about, because I'm super not. A couple of days ago, I got into a back and forth with someone on cultural Reddit because they said, imagine how the right would react if you could really change sex. Like in the culture, I was trying to explain that it's problematic to imply real life transitioning isn't real. Oh, you've mentioned this before. Yeah, but you always have to be careful about that because, again, a lot of people are not aware of their own underlying biases and tend to not take well to having them pointed out. Again, it doesn't mean you should never do that. It just means if you're going to do that, be prepared for them to be mad at you about it. classic thing of when people accidentally say gay or normal as opposed to deliberately. Yeah. Yeah, you run that with transes. Like, you know, I believe in rights for everyone. You know, trans people, normal people, and you'll get people who just do not recognize what it is they just said. And some of them, if you're lucky, if you point it out, they'll go, oh, crap, I'm sorry, I'll keep working on that. And if you're unlucky, they will get real uppity about you because, oh boy. Sorry, we're going down a rabbit hole of something that I've had on my mind. The well-meaning privileged left gets very hung up on intent. There is a reason that the well-meaning privileged left are also the ones who think if we just educate bigots, they'll be less bigoted, because it is necessary to their worldview that they believe that there is not an intent to harm and that it is only through ignorance. They are very hung up on the concept of intent because that is their only defense against criticism from more marginalized groups is, oh, but I didn't intend it that way. I didn't intend for the policies I put forward to enable fascism to take over. You have to forgive me because that wasn't what I meant to happen. And it's why I very strongly identify philosophically as a consequentialist. I'm not going to say that what you intended has no value, but I'm going to weigh the practical outcome of what you did or said far, far more than what you intended it to be. Again, I'm not saying your intent has no value in the discussion, but it absolutely does not trump everything else. It doesn't. But like the privileged left is always very hung up on intent and what they had wanted or hoped or intended to happen or intended to mean, because that is the nebulous area through which they sleep at night. Did I say or do a bigoted thing? Yeah, but I didn't mean to. And so that's all okay then. Or at least that is functionally how it will. Again, it's always going to be very telling when you get into a conversation with somebody and like they say something kind of passive-aggressively bigoted, or you know, just use a turn of phrase and you're like, it'd be better if you didn't say it that way. It's always going to be very telling as to whether their reaction to that is, oh, thanks for that, I'll try and be aware of it in the future. Or if they go, well, look, I didn't mean it that way then. Like, that's going to tell you a lot about who you're dealing with and how they're going to respond to any future criticism or critique. And I say that as somebody who, like, can look at my own past and recognize that, like, I've failed at that. I have failed at the, oh, but that's not how I meant it test. And I'm sure I will again in future. Ooh, that's pretty. I hate when people say normal. Yeah, normal is a very loaded term. And actually, like, so the video I did on, I think it was the one I did on Fat Thor and, like, the use of fat suits in general. I was very fortunate to have some friends who I trusted to look at that script, because that was a fully scripted video, to look at that script before I shot it. And I had casual use of the word normal. And, like, that normal still appears in the video, but every time I say it, I put it in air quotes, and I explain shortly after the first use of it why I'm using it. I used it only not as an actual denotation, like this is normal, this is not, but as denoting a perspective. People perceive these things as normal. So like, and I needed somebody with a better degree of awareness to point that out to me. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Let's try and fix that then. Normal just doesn't exist if you're talking about biology, psychology, anything about life. Yeah, normal is a social construct, just like gender and race and money. I'm off to another meeting. Have fun swimming with the fishes. Thank you, Remy. I'm glad you stopped in. It's kind of like how my 78-year-old mother still calls beach nuts by the archaic term, which is racist. Last week I was telling her its proper name is beach nuts and stop using that racist term. Yeah. And like, again, I don't want, when I say things like the privileged left who think that all you have to do is educate the bigots and everything will be fine. Like, I'm not saying that education has no value. It does, but it is not going to magically fix all these problems or these ways of thinking. And especially doesn't work if someone is not open to being educated. It's kind of like that thing of like, I believe there's good in everyone. I do too, but that doesn't mean that everyone is willing to bring their good forward. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, hello. Interesting. I feel like this one has a lot more plot going on than Journey did. That Reddit argument ended up in a very frustrating place because the other person said, I'm not sure if I would consider a biological woman who can't have kids to be fully female. Oh, God, yeah. Again, it just becomes, whoa! That's beautiful. It just becomes a rabbit hole of all their unmoving assumptions that are also wrong. Yeah, again, I know I've seen you mention this before. It might have been on the Discord. Ah! Oh! Oh! I can break these now. Ah. Ooh, I got an achievement for riding the Rainbow Show. How lovely. Alright, come here, son. I think that's the first achievement I've gotten in this game. I don't know how many there are. Yes! Alright, so, like, this is Journey, but this is also Flower. This is very much a mashup of both games. Oh, beautiful. Come on, buddy. Something down there. Felt like there was a glow. No, maybe not. Oh, it's just the general haze. Okay. Somebody I know was looking to rent somewhere cheap. They said, sorry, but it's slightly out of my price range. The landlady, a rich farmer, said, can't you just borrow money from a rich family member? Wow! Oh, that is a level of privilege that, like, catches even me off guard. Like, holy crap! Oh, good grief. good. Feels good. The trees with the purple leaves. Oh, that's beautiful. I love I mean, the thing is, that entire rabbit hole that you accidentally tripped and fell down in that argument 255, like, it's funny because it's the exact same, it's turf logic. Again, this person might not even realize that, but like, it is a uniquely messed up thing that TERFs try and claim that they are feminists when they are literally making the arguments that feminism was built to fight against. Like, feminism, the core point of feminism is women are not just baby factories, are not defined by their ability to have children. We are fully formed people, and that is, you cannot restrict us to a biological function. And then TERFs, simply because they hate trans people so much, are trying to force the concept of women back down to this ridiculous single biological function. Like, it's sad, is what it is. Well, that is good, at least. 255. You get that in fandom subreddits, like, where, like, the instant there is disagreement, like, they just start voting down whoever they see as the agitator. I've run into that a few times, which is usually my cue to exit said subreddits. Darth Vader did one good thing in the end. He didn't become a saint or anything. Well, Nick, now you're getting into the notion of redemption by a single act, usually also involving death, if we're talking narrative. I did a whole video on how much it is like that trope years ago, but the core essence of why I dislike that trope is it implies that morality is transactional, and I do not want to live in a world where that is treated as true, and therefore I tend to chafe against narratives that, intentional or intending or not, present a world in which morality is transactional. I have one question for TERFs. Why do they hate transgender people? What valid reason? And not one can give a legitimate reason. Well, of course they can't. Oh, there we go. We hit the end. That timed out well. Because, like all bigotry, it is innately irrational. They will try and find causes and reasons that they can cite to try and justify it, but like at its core, it's just, I think that kind of person is disgusting or gross or dangerous or whatever, and you start there and then you build your argument after. You know, what positions could I take that would validate the thing I'm claiming? It's kind of the way it is. Anyways, so we're going to wrap the stream slightly early because we finished it up. Austin Wintory does amazing music. Good stuff. So I'm glad I did this. I have no idea what I'm going to stream on Friday now. But I'll figure it out. So I'm going to try and finish the edit on Saturday's video so it can go up for early access for Patreon and Patreon supporters and YouTube members. So, and then it'll be public on Saturday, and it's about someone tried to use my professional name to sell their very poor erotica on Amazon. So it's just about that, about discovering that and the weirdness of it. So I should be streaming again on Friday. Again, I don't know what that'll be. I'll have a review out probably tomorrow on Predator Badlands, which I've seen. And I think that's it for right now. So thank you everybody for joining me. Take care of yourselves. I know we did let the talk get a little political today, but I think we kept it at a comfortable level. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for your time. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Be safe. And be kind. I'll see ya.